Holy packs. All right, got a box here, sticking with the vintage theme. I got a box here from one of the Bob collections. Now, this is actually a box I had from the previous time we went. So not the most recent time, but the previous time that Wax Packs and I went there. So the last, I don't know how many videos, it's been probably almost 10 videos, I would think, worth of going through those vintage cards, the true vintage, right? Early 70s, some late 60s in there, and then some later 70s. This one, I believe, is, yep, is what I remember it to be. It's broken out by teams. So you can see he's got like Phillies, Pirates, but this one seems to be more 80s based. So I don't know what is in here. I thumbed through some things and I did say, oh, I get Paul Molitor. Okay, so there might be some good names in here. So what we're gonna do is probably just go through this, try and go through this as quickly as I can. I will be a little more than 10 minutes, but want to see what stars we get. And I was actually kind of hoping to get more vintage cards. Looks like late 70s is, some 78 tops and everything. But I really, as I went through those vintage, this becomes the Mets. So it said Reds, but I guess this is Mets. All right. A little bit of mix. So it's a little bit of mix of everything. And Evans, like, not quite his rookie, I don't think. I think 84 was his rookie. But really what I'm looking for, or what I started to look for, was Terry Pendleton. I think that's his rookie card, right? Yep, that is. There you go. Was in those, everything from 73 earlier, late George Foster card, not meaning I don't know if he's dead or alive. But I didn't realize that Topps issued their cards in series. So like from 1952 to 1973, in the beginning of the baseball season, they'd issue Series 1, then Series 2, Series 3, Series 4, and that would be actually the whole set. So the 5th and 6th series were kind of high number series. This is, it's an O-Peachy. Oh, look at that. Didn't realize that one. Nice. Haven't seen an O-Peachy around. But in any case, so a lot of those vintage cards that I got in the 72 series, there were a lot of high number series. Speaking of 72, there's a nod to Johnny Bench. So I didn't realize that at all until I started looking at the numbers, like who the players were, everything else. So that's what I was kind of hoping to get some more of the true vintage cards here and see if maybe, Dave Concepcion, and see if I could get maybe more high number, more George Foster again. But here you can see this is all pretty much 80s, late 70s, early 80s. So for the Reds, short of there being, who would there be for the Reds? Maybe a Johnny Bench, right? Or possibly Eric Davis. If they did put an Eric Davis here, John Franco. I don't think that's his rookie. I think he's like early 80s. It's a rookie card for John Franco. Nice. He was a good closer. He did a lot with the Mets, I know. But, I don't know. He never really got the respect. I feel, he was a good closer when he was playing. But I think after his career, I don't think he really got the respect he was looking for here. All right. Or deserved, anyway. He was a really good closer. We got Johnny Bench. So there we go. We got a little Hall of Famer there. All right. I might have to break this up into a couple of videos. This is going to take longer than I thought. Jerry Remy. Batting leaders, Keith Hernandez, Fred Lynn. Miscut, though, on that one. All right, don't really know anybody there. You got the Kmart collection. Ralph Hawk. Manager. So potentially, which we know we're not going to get, but potentially you could get the Wade Boggs in here, which I doubt. But 83 would be that rookie card. Or if you get 85, you can get the Roger Clemens. So definitely a lot of big names for the Red Sox in this time period. but I doubt. There's Bill Buckner, the one and only. But I doubt we'll get anybody like that. Dennis Eckersley, who just had a big issue with his, I guess his adopted daughter recently abandoned she gave birth and abandoned the baby, so he's in a little hot water. Well, not him, but the daughter is anyway. Bruce Hurst. So that's unfortunate, especially nowadays. I mean, this time of year, you know, you get the winter and everything else. It's not a good situation. So hopefully, seems like the baby has been recovered and doing all right. So hopefully everything works out with that one. All right, let's get back to baseball cards. And we got the White Sox. I'm not really sure who from the White Sox would get Harold Baines, quote-unquote Hall of Famer. I don't know if you guys watch Junk Wax Sal. He opens up, Tony La Russa. He opens up a lot of packs, a lot of wax packs. I watch a lot of his shorts. And yeah, he definitely is not a fan of this guy getting into the Hall of Fame. And quite frankly, I'm in agreement. I don't really think he deserves to be there. I mean, I would put Dale Murphy in there before him. And I know some people think, you know, oh, he's got some of the numbers to back it up. And he does. He's got over, I think, 2,000 hits and something like that. But ultimately, you know, when you think about, you know, what the Hall of Fame really should be, strikeout leaders here, it should be for the best of the best. And when you think about the time period he played for, right? I guess he was drafted in 77, right? Is that what that card said? All right, so he's drafted in 77. He made his debut in like 80, right? Because his rookie card was 81. And he played to, what, 96 about? So you think about the time periods between 81 and 96. And you want to come up with a top 50 players during that period, you know, or who played in that period. Top 100 players who played in that period, right? Maybe he cracks the 100. I don't think he cracks the 50. And I get, too, a lot of the guys that played in that period are going to be tarnished with the steroids. But at the same time, he's still not one that, in my mind, you go to. Here's Alan Trammell. He's speaking of a Hall of Famer. Jack Morris. More Alan Trammell. Yeah, him and Lou Whitaker, I feel, probably were deserving of it. But, and again, it's not to say that he didn't have Harold Baines didn't have a good career, but at the same time, he's not, when you think of big names and you think of the big players in that time period, you know, it was right around time Ricky Henderson was there, Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, Ryan Sandberg, you know. Those guys all started right around when he started. Those are the names you kind of get drawn to, right? Even Kirk Gibson, even though Kirk Gibson did a lot less on the field than Harold Baines did. Well, I mean, I know Harold Baines was a DH, but even Kirk Gibson, you know, you remember that name. People, you know, get tied to that name with the home run coming in there. And you know, he has more fan appeal, even though he did a lot less than what I would think Harold Baines did. But even still, you had like Ozzie Smith right around that time, Paul Molitor, rookie right around that time. Those are the guys you put in the Hall, which they are in the Hall, deservingly so. But let's see. Not getting. So now we're in the Twins. You got by 11. But yeah, definitely a lot of mid-80s. There's another Burt by 11, but it's beat up pretty good. I don't know who here from the Twins. Now you get Kirby Puckett. Maybe an 85 here for him. And another guy I put in front of Harold Baines, but that'll be the theme. That'll be the theme of this video. Let's see, no one else here. Frank Viola. The other thing about Harold Baines too is that he was a DH a lot. So he didn't even play in the field. And I think he was like a career, there's a much better Burt by 11 card than the last one. I think he was like a career like 270 hitter, which is decent especially for any hitter. But he didn't hit a lot of home runs. Didn't have a lot of power. So he was really kind of like a singles kind of guy. And when you think of like the DHs, you certainly think of Edgar Martinez or David Ortiz, somebody who not only hit for average, but hit for power too, right? You're gonna, which is really what you kind of want out of your DH, you know? You don't want your DH to put up crooked numbers. You don't want your DH to get on first base, and that's it. All right, and then we're getting into the Yankees. All right, we'll stop it here, and then we'll go through the next row. Oh, they got some stickers. A beat-up sticker, but a giant sticker. A little decal. A little Pirates sticker. And some Cowboy stickers. Interesting. All right, that's fun. All right, we'll make this one the last one, then we'll take a break. And, we got Doc Ellis. I didn't know you. I guess. Oh, another O-Peachy. Nice. You're going to be O-Peachy. They're all O-Peachy. All right. O-Peachy. O-Peachy. Yeah, Goose Gossage, right? I kind of breezed over him. Here you're going to have Don Mattingly. Now, Don Mattingly, I understand why. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. But I do understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? He did have great numbers, great player, but injuries really derailed his career there towards the end. Greg Nettles. And, so in the end, he didn't have the numbers, but still a very big fan favorite for a lot of people. And, he could have been really, really good, but it happens. Sometimes that happens. All right, so what I pulled aside here, we got a bunch of O-Peachy. I bet I get even more that I wasn't really even paying attention about, but definitely put those aside. It's not too often you see that. Got some Hall of Famers, Alan Trammell and Jack Morris here. Dennis Eckersley. So, mid-level Hall of Famers. John Franco rookie card. Terry Pendleton rookie card. And then an 83 John Bench. Or Johnny Bench. So nothing too crazy. Some good cards, but nothing too crazy. I'll probably expect to see more of the same in these next couple rows. So let me take a break here, and we'll get back with some more cards in a minute.